We're getting there, right? You can run an app, store data, work with messages and triggers and bindings. Now for monitoring. It will be no surprise that Azure has services that can help you monitor applications. Here are some of the options. Some services are meant for monitoring a single application, like Application Insights and Visual Studio App Center. Other services are broader and meant for monitoring resource groups, subscriptions, and other scopes. We'll take a look at services in both categories, and we will start with Application Insights. Azure Application Insights is technically part of Azure Monitor, a broader service, but that doesn't matter right now. You use Application Insights to monitor a single application. This can be a web and also a desktop app. You can monitor many different things, including availability, performance, even client-side performance, errors and failures, usage and events, and much more. You can use availability tests to be alerted when your application is down, even from a certain region in the world. Application Insights collects its data and sends it to a log analytics workspace. Again, not important for now, it's just a data store for analytics data. You can also export its raw data in JSON format to save it for yourself and analyze it. And it has a neat feature called Application Map, which shows all the services that are connected to your app. Let's see that in action. Here we are again in the Azure portal. Let's open the App Service web app. Alright, let's monitor this web app. Here in the menu is Application Insights. Convenient, right? And from here I can enable it without adding any code to my app. Now I can add code to my app to get more data into Application Insights, but I don't have to. So all of this looks good, and create a new Application Insights instance that is connected to my web app. Alright, that's it. Let's see some of the settings here. I can enable the profiler, cool, and also the snapshot debugger. This thing collects debug information that I can replay in Visual Studio to debug failures from production. Really cool. And if I connect with an Azure SQL database, I can even see the SQL commands that I use. Alright, I'll skip ahead a bit. And now I've used my application so that Application Insights has some data. Let's go take a look. This is the Application Insights instance. It has many features, and we'll look at some of them. First, this is the application map, which I think is really cool. It only shows my web app right now, as that is the only thing in my solution. It's not connected to anything, and it does show the average request time and how many calls been made to this app service. And if there were any errors, it would show it here as well, and from here I could then drill down into them. Let's move on. There is much to see here, including usage. I want to see events that happened, so 15 events in the last 24 hours. I can filter here and can also create elaborate queries to investigate this data. Let's drill down. Alright, so in the last 24 hours there were 2 users, and these are their operating systems, browsers, and locations. And down here are the events. These are requests that our app received. I can see how many and drill down into each request. But let's move on. Here is availability, which monitors the up and running state of the app. Very important. It does this with tests. Let's add one. These tests are simple requests that are fired at a certain URL, like this one of my app, or a certain page or API of the app. It does retries if a request fails. It checks for SSL validity to see if my certificates are still up to date. And it fires requests from multiple locations in the world to make sure that the app is reachable. I can configure the request itself in details if I want, and send alerts if my app is not available. That's pretty cool. So these are the basics of Application Insights.